final round. Keith, that's a great point, too. The check clears. All right, does Nate Wyatt have anything left for DDG?
Oh! Beautiful overhand right. Wyatt looks a little uncomfortable with that shot, ducking his head. He continues to turn his. Wyatt continues to turn his head away, and that's why he keeps getting caught with these back of the head shots, as he's saying.
Step back, come on.
The referee is pretty much had it at this point.
Yes, he has had it. Look at him.
Stop tying up, guys. And that's just sheer exhaustion, right? At this point, they got enough energy to throw one power punch, and then they got to hold on for dear life.
The referee kind of reminds me of a nightclub security guard. Right? He's just like, all right, you two.
Absolutely.
Stop.
Where do we get these big refs, right? We got him, we got Big John McCarthy. These refs look like fighters.
But you absolutely need someone big like this in this situation. These are not experienced, boxers. They haven't had boxing matches before. They're not going to listen. You need someone that will make them listen.
Inside of 40 seconds now, round number 5. Each fight tonight scheduled for 5 rounds, 2-minute rounds. Still to come tonight, our main event, Austin McBroom of YouTube and Bryce Hall of TikTok.
Well, you got to hand it to Nate. I didn't think he was going to survive this.
He absolutely did, and that's the thing, is he took a lot of punches, a lot more damage than I think he anticipated, but he sucked it up and he gutted through this fight.
And at this point, these two are just trying to get to the finish line. And the finish line looks like a DDG resounding victory.
The crowd is already cheering victory.
He got a few more punches to seal the deal at the end of that fight. We got the chains in full effect.
Well, Nate Wyatt, he has the debonair movie star good looks for
Absolutely.
a TikToker.
Well, not right now. If you see, there's a lot of swelling.
Hey, I can talk about that. I have been cut open, bloodied up in fights, broken hands, cut faces. It all heals.
Yeah.
Oh, it does. But not all of us look like you, Paige, so it's not as important for us to get it back to normal. Nate Wyatt's probably very happy that this thing is over.
What do you think about this experience, right? Now that you're watching it as a YouTube sensation, does this inspire you to do something else? Do we see, you're one of these guys, do we see you in a boxing match?
I just love being a commentator. I love being able to sit here and call it, and it's been a pleasure to work with you guys. You guys are the pros here teaching me what's up with all this, and it's just been so much fun to be this close to the ring. Normally I get the front row seats, they hook me up, but I haven't been this close.
There's nothing better than being right here at ringside.
The commentator booth is very nice.
Yes, because guess what? You never lose a fight. You never lose sitting here.
That's right.
All right. So the judges are still figuring out. Now we have a decision. Let's send it up to the ring.
Here are the judges' results for this sanctioned exhibition match. Lorenzo Hunt scored the contest 50-44. Coach Chuck scored the contest 49-45. And Keon Wilson scored the contest 50-43, with the combined scores putting the bout in favor of DDG.
Well, it's a very YouTube pro crowd here in Miami, clearly. And on a couple of those scorecards, Keith, the judges thought he had dominated 2 or 3 rounds with those scores.
Wow, unbelievable. It's shocking to see YouTube just win every single one of these matches. 4 wins for YouTube right now. This one, I didn't know anywhere where it was going to go. Now we clearly know DDG is pretty good in that ring.
Let's take a look at the final punch stats presented by Stat Hero. Survived the game, and clearly, this is a DDG domination.
Unbelievable power punches, 35-7 total punches, only 40. So only 5 of them were not power punches. Unreal.
So DDG is the victor. He's getting all of his ice on. He's getting all of his bling on. And momentarily, he will speak with Paige. Paige, go ahead.
All right, DDG, you are getting your hand wraps off you still. Congratulations on an amazing performance. Did you think it was going to go the full fight?
Honestly, I left the strip club last night. I wasn't even training for this fight. Hey, man. Jay, where my blunt at? I've honestly felt like, not to be funny or nothing, but I felt like he wasn't going to last that whole time. There's a lot of respect to Nate.
You looked amazing. Honestly, coming from a professional fighter, you looked like you have been in the gym, you've been training. Can we talk about your coaching staff? You have some amazing coaches in your corner. Did you have confidence with them being there with you?
Yeah, Joe Diaz, he helped me a lot, sharpen up my skills. I'm excited for the win.
What's next for you, all right? You looked like you had a lot of fun. Can we see you in another fight? Can we see you in an amateur boxing match, a bare knuckle boxing match? What's next?
Honestly, this is like my finale on YouTube. I'm quitting YouTube for good. So this is my last little finale of this fight. One and done. Unless, the only way I'll step in the ring again if it's with a rapper.
A rapper? Do you have any rapper in mind?
I ain't got nobody in mind, but anybody that want to step to the plate, we get the bag right,
I
get the
can see
promotion right.
Wiz Khalifa's been training real hard. He's a fighter that I could see you match up against.
I'm with whatever, man.
That's it. All right. Congratulations. Amazing performance.
Thank you. Shout out to all the fans, man. Y'all make some noise.
Social Gloves, Battle of the Platforms is sponsored by Hard Rock and Stat Hero, the first ever daily fantasy sports book and the only place to get in on the Social Gloves action at stathero.com/gloves.
Projecting our current DSCR against our amortized 5-year debt.
Come a little closer, mon petit chou. Feel that fascination if you're there. I think that I like you. I think that I like you, like you. I think that I like you, like you. I think I like you a lot.
You already know that Live by Live has you covered with original shows like Album of the Week and Self-Made, along with VIP access to live stream events from all over the world.
Plus, we have more than 1,000 radio stations hosted by real people.
That's a lot of music, and you can customize each one to fit your great taste.
And just added the Best of Podcast 1 featuring original podcasts like Nappy Boy Radio with T-Pain, Off the Vine with Caitlin Bristow, What They Don't Tell You with Jordan Jones, and many more with new shows added weekly.
So now, because we like you, here's a friendly reminder that your Social Gloves pay-per-view access comes with 6 months of Live by Live Plus for free, unlocking unlimited song skips, maximum audio quality, and 0 ads. And all you have to do is redeem your free subscription.
Just find your Social Gloves pay-per-view confirmation email and follow the instructions to redeem.
And yes, it's free.
For real.
You're welcome.
I'm here with Taylor Holder, who goes up against YouTuber Anderson Gibb. Taylor, you seem to have a target on your back as the guy that everybody wants to fight. Why do you think that is?
You know, coming into this, there was actually a lot of people that didn't want to fight me, so I was like one of the only ones that had an open slot on the card. So there was a lot of people calling me out, and we had to pick and choose from a lot, and it happened to be Gibb that they decided on.
Do you have more confidence ever since Gibb lost to Jake Paul?
You know, That was over a year ago. I don't really underestimate anybody. You know, I'm training hard. I'm training like I'm fighting the best in the world, and that's that. And I'm gonna go out there and showcase my skills and show what I got.
Good luck tonight. Now over to Marcos with Team YouTube.
Thank you, Emily. I'm here with the 7-figure Gibber. Gib, man, hey, you look in phenomenal shape. I could tell that you've been taking this extremely serious.
I've lost about 20 kilos. I started at 106, now I'm 81. I'm in the shape of my life, and I'm ready to destroy Taylor Holder.
Looking back, I know fight fans, the last time they got to see you was a year ago here in Miami against Jake Paul. How important is it for you to have a dominating performance and get the redemption that you want and get past that performance and what happened that night?
It's very important. I've been working so hard for this day. So hard in Cancun, Mexico, in London, Stratford, working every day for this day to destroy Taylor Holder. I'm coming for him.
See this man right here? He's ready to go. Fousey, back to you.
Wow. This night has been electrifying, and so far it is Team YouTube across the board. Kale versus Ryan. Ryan took that one home. Ben versus Landon. Landon took it home for the McBrooms. Michael versus Jarvis was our first knockout of the night, and it was vicious. I bet it's already on the bread batch right now. Nate versus DDG went the distance, and DDG took that one for the win. Don't forget, still to come tonight is the fights you guys have all been waiting for. We have Taylor versus Anisan Gibb and Bryce Hall versus Austin McBroom. Before we get there, be sure to tweet using #SocialGloves and let us know how you're enjoying the night. And now, let's take a look behind the scenes of Vinny Hacker versus Deji the Tank.
I hope you're ready, Vinny. My name is Deji. I'm a YouTuber with 10.2 million subscribers. Go, baby.
I'm Vinny Hacker. I'm representing the TikTok side.
This content's questionable. It's literally just looking at a mirror, shirtless, doing nothing, but I'm not gonna judge.
I've been training every day, hours on end, conditioning.
Are you worried about this fight, or do you think you're actually gonna come out on top?
Deji's been in a fight in a stadium, but I'm training really hard, so we just gotta wait until the fight.
I train 5 times a day.
Doesn't even have to be the person that trains harder. It could be the person that gets hit first and goes down. I'm making sure that doesn't happen to me.
Deji, you're finally back. You have went the farthest with Jake Paul. What are you gonna do against Vinny Hacker?
Vinny, this is just a stepping stone. I want to destroy the whole YouTube boxing thing, venture forward past that. What I've taken from my last fight is you have to fail to succeed. I'm just gonna try extra hard. Plan is to completely dominate all these people.
Everybody has a plan until you get in there and you actually get punched in the face.
I predict me destroying Vinny.
Deji, I want you to know this isn't going to be an easy fight. I'm going to put my all in on this.
Vinny, all the best. You're a nice guy, but you are in my way, so you are going to have to get these hands.
Okay, that is some of the nicest trash talk I've ever heard in my life. Foos, we're going to bring you in here for a couple of minutes. We're going to start with you. Do you really believe that Deji has trained 5 times a day?
I do. I think this is a big ploy. I think, like, look, we know that the way your physique looks doesn't matter in today's day and age, especially when it comes to strength and conditioning. Like, look at Andy Ruiz. I'm not saying Deji's Andy Ruiz, but I think he's trying to undersell himself to surprise a lot of people tonight.
Okay, but Vinny Hacker is young, and he's never been in this position before. What do you think facing a guy who has his approach should be?
Yeah, you know, I'm going to go to that Deji, the 5 times a day comment, right? He's not training 5 times a day.
5 times a day?
5 times a day.
A day.
He's not training 5 times a day.
Deji's troll.
Okay.
If he's training 5 times a day, he's not training hard. I promise you.
Look at Andy Ruiz. I'm not saying Deji's Andy Ruiz, but I think he's trying to undersell himself to surprise a lot of people tonight.
Okay, but Vinny Hacker is young. Never been in this position before. What do you think facing a guy who has his approach should be?
Yeah, you know, I'm going to go to that Deji, the 5 times a day comment, right? He's not training 5 times a day.
5 times a day?
5 times a day.
A day.
He's not training 5 times a day.
Deji's troll.
Okay.
If he's training 5 times a day, he's not training hard. I promise you, 2 a days, that's a lot.
That's like saying I train 10 times a day, but I don't train 10 times a day.
Right, so that's That's a comment for me. 5 times a day, that's a stretch. Let's hope he's at least training 2 a day, is 5 days a week.
You got to remember, Deji also said his IQ was 189.
Subscribe for YouTube, like for
He's an
TikTok.
absolute tank, coach. He made Jake Paul bleed. The only one that made Jake Paul bleed in the
Pretty
ring.
sure Austin McBroom versus Bryce Hall is next, so this is going to be a good one. I want everybody to like and subscribe right now. Come on, help me out.
Tremendous shape. And Deji.
Like and subscribe if you guys are hyped.
To be fair, Deji a couple of months ago posted a picture where he was really out of shape. So what you're saying now is actually a great improvement from where he was. It was.
And you know what? When it comes to, like, you can talk about UFC fighters. The biggest point out is Daniel Cormier, right? He's somebody who's Olympic champion, UFC champion. He never once was like, oh, you know what? He looks like an athlete. But he was a freak athlete, you know? The physique isn't always a dead giveaway.
Okay, very good. But let's talk about that physique for a second, because he is 18 years old. And we understand when you get a little bit older, it's a little
Everybody
bit
subscribe to Maya FC on YouTube if you guys are.
I think Deji is setting us up for a big explosive surprise. I really do.
And 5 times a day.
5 times a day?
5 times a day.
A day.
He's not training 5 times a day.
Deji's trolling.
Okay.
If he's training 5 times a day, he's not training hard. I promise you, 2 a days, that's a lot.
That's like
when
saying I train 10 times a day, but I don't train 10 times a day.
Right, so that's a comment for me. 5 times a day, that's a stretch. Let's hope he's at least training 2 a day, is 5 days a week.
You got to remember, Deji also said his IQ was 189.
Okay, yeah.
But Deji, he's the tank. He's an absolute tank, coach. He made Jake Paul bleed. The only one that made Jake Paul bleed in the ring. So,
all right, I want to go back to the weigh-in yesterday, and here is what it looked like as
Subscribe for YouTube, like for TikTok.
We had no idea here live on Social Gloves that Foos is willing to take a fight.
I need a redemption.
He needs a redemption. Now, I want to talk about future fights still to come tonight. So let's talk about Gib, okay? Because he's going to go against a very dangerous opponent. Kind of give us a preview of what we should expect from Gib tonight.
You know, Gib surprised me and Team almost the most at the weigh-in.
Absolutely.
No one expected him to come in with a freaking six-pack. He put in the work. He's hungry. Yesterday during rehearsals, I said, and this is just the ring walk, I said, yo, Gib, can I get you on my camera for 2 seconds? He looked at me with the most serious face, respectfully, and said, brother, not right now. I'm focused.
What do you make of what you've seen from Gib and Taylor Holder as well?
I don't know what's going to happen with that one. I can tell you this, Gib is shocked. Like Fousey said, he is in such good shape. And the rumors that we hear through the rumor mill throughout social media is that Taylor Holder actually knows how to box. He's been boxing forever, but nobody has seen it.
Oh, I have.
Okay. All right, Fousey, you got a job to go do, so you go get in the ring.
You guys are doing great.
Thank you very much. But Paige, I want to ask you about our final fight of the night coming up in just a little bit. And we're talking about, as we see Taylor Holder getting ready for his fight. But tonight, a lot of the people here have come to see Bryce Hall and Austin McBroom. Bryce Hall says, hey, I've been training in Canelo's gym. I'm ready for this cat. Do you like his confidence?
I like his confidence. I like the coaches he has in his corner. I like the camp he's with. That, you know, when you pick good coaches, good camp, you're obviously taking it seriously, right? You want to go to the best gyms in the world. My husband and I moved here to go be a part of Miami, the best gyms in the world. I'm training with Pedro Diaz, legendary boxing coach. You have to make those sacrifices, and I like his team. And that team can give you a lot of confidence when you
Subscribe
fight.
for
On the
YouTube,
other
like
side,
for
Austin
TikTok.
McBroom, he said his dream was to play in the NBA. Tonight's his shot at his NBA. And does he really not like Bryce Hall? Is this real beef?
They absolutely hate each other. Bryce Hall made a comment about his family, and Austin made a comment about his ex-girlfriend. I mean, there's real beef there. There's a real storyline that has turned into this.
And we saw what happened at the press conference yesterday when they got into it already there. So that's still to come later tonight in our main event. But it's time for our third fight of our pay-per-view. Let's send it up to the ring.
Things are now about to heat up. Representing Team TikTok in the blue corner, Vinny Hacker.
That is intensity if I've ever seen it. We asked Vinny Hacker, what's your demo that you play to? He said, dead into my face, 18 to 24-year-old females.
That's right. You hear him screaming in the crowd all over the place. I feel like I'm in church right now.
You know what? This walkout music, that's intense. That gets
Subscribe
I
to
feel
for
like I'm going to
YouTube,
battle right
like
now.
for
I got
TikTok,
those
like and
hairs on
subscribe
my
if
neck.
you guys are hyped for
It
this
is
fight.
one of the more underrated things about fighting. Your ring music, the walk, the posse, the team. There's bigger teams for these guys than most fighters have.
Oh, there is. You know, when we travel, we need one coach, one corner. We go when we fight, right? These people racked a whole crew behind them, but that energy, honestly, you can feed off of that. That can give you that extra push, knowing how many people came out here to support you. You don't want to let them down, right? So they're going to go in there and they're going to feel the energy of their crew behind them.
And now, representing Team YouTube, Deji!
He is a man of many interests. He said earlier tonight he loves donuts. He launched his own clothing line, which makes beanies and snapbacks. He created a graphic novel called Kung Fu Hero in the Forbidden City. Keem, is there anything?
Like and subscribe if you guys are hyped for the Austin McBroom and Bryce Hall fight.
The rehearsal, he definitely did not come out to this song. This has thrown me for a loop. Very, very intense.
It is intense, right? And like this is that music where you walk out to this and you either like, oh my gosh, this guy knows what he's doing, or all right, what's about to happen?
I say all the time, it's about your presentation. That's just as important as what you get done after the bell. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Paige, take me through this one.
All right, tail of the tape, we got Deji with the age advantage, slight reach advantage to Vinny Hacker. We have reach identical, and that's the big factor going into the fights, that reach. So I like the slight height advantage for Vinny, but virtually identical when it comes to reach.
There is a 12-pound weight disadvantage, though, for Mr. Vinny Hacker. We'll see how that plays out here in just a couple of minutes. Time for the official announcement of both fighters. Let's send it up to Foos.
In the blue corner, representing Team TikTok, weighing in at 173 pounds with over 7 million TikTok followers, from Seattle, Washington, the master of game with all the fame, Vinny Hacker. And representing YouTube in the red corner, weighing in at 185 pounds with over 10 million YouTube subscribers, hailing from Watford, England, the true Kung Fu hero, it's Deji!
Fighter. Come close. Gentlemen, you got your instructions before the fight. You know what's expected of you. Relax. Obey my instructions at all times. In the case of a knockdown, you go to a neutral corner. Are we clear? Are we clear? Touch gloves if you wish.
Subscribe and like to Maya FC.
Okay, so they do touch gloves in this fight, at least.
I like that. I like their mutual respect.
I got to tell you, the theatrics, the songs of both guys.
Kind of similar, to be honest.
They were very similar.
And they beat in the middle immediately.
Vinny Hacker wasting no time, Paige.
None at all. And we'll see if the tank can stand up to it.
Deji, huge uppercut, but you know what? Right off the bat, Hacker, I like his jab.
Oh, wow.
Good hard right.
Big left hand, another big left hand.
Hacker looks a little scared now. He's eating some shots, and I don't think he likes it.
Deji just coming forward.
Sub for Team Deji, like for Team Hacker.
And keep moving forward.
So Hacker is taking those first few relatively well.
Oh.
Big overhand right. Nice jab.
Now Hacker's been able to duck a couple, but a couple are connected.
Deji, clearly the more aggressive fighter here early on.
Well, he's got that experience in that fight before in 2018 versus Jake Paul, and that helps a lot, I would imagine.
He keeps throwing this big left cross, right? So he's a southpaw. He's coming in with a left cross, and he's actually coming into an orthodox stance. He's putting full force behind it and switching stances in the process.
Deji's brother, another popular YouTube boxer, KSI, he actually defeated Logan Paul. At one point, Deji and KSI had the same coach, and they said Deji actually hits harder, natural strength.
Oh, Vinny Hacker just trying to throw some haymakers to get something going against Deji. Well, it's pretty clear the game plan, Paige,
Like and sub for Team Deji.
It is, right? And that weight advantage that you mentioned, that's a big factor here. You know, 12 pounds weight difference. Yeah, he's a shorter fighter, but he's putting his weight behind his punches, whereas Hacker, you're not seeing him throw with full force. He doesn't have the weight and the strength advantage that we're seeing at Deji.
Big breath, big breath, big breath. Good boy, good round.
I need you to stop the charging, okay? No tackling. Right, box out.
Good work, bro. Big breath. Big breath. Hands up, relax. Deep breaths, get your hands up, behind your head. Deep breaths in.
Well, you heard the referee come over and tell Deji, no tackling. Big left hand there from round one.
You know, in watching these, a lot of these guys are closing the distance, right? They're getting into these really close exchanges. I want to see him in an MMA fight. It seems like they want a hold of each other.
A couple connected right there in that replay.
And Hacker towards the end of that round did land a couple.
Yeah, grazing punches.
Paige, I would say that an MMA night is not that far away.
It's not,
It's not that far away. All right, here we go. Round number 2 of a scheduled 5 between Vinny Hacker of TikTok.
Left cross.
Ben ducking a few, but Deji keeps catching him. I'm on the edge of my seat here.
Yeah,
I don't know where this is going.
If Deji, he started that combo with a lead left hook, right? If he could keep setting up, his overhand left is connecting so well. If he could set that up, he has the strength to finish this fight.
Well, Paige, you talk about the cardio, and will that... Oh, big left hand by Hacker! And now he's got Deji on the ropes!
Hacker, that was the most important strike for him tonight. He could change the trajectory of this fight.
Deji clenching up, holding on. Oh.
Sub for Team Deji, like for Team Hacker.
So give Vinny Hacker a lot of credit here in round number 2.
He is not out of this fight yet by any means. He can't take many of those straight left hands.
Straight left twice by Deji. And now Hacker seems to be stalking his prey.
Deji's just waiting, trying to get the left through. See a couple rights.
See this straight left, straight left, straight left. He keeps throwing all night. Set that baby up. There's power behind it. It's working. Use it, but set it up.
Mid-cap gloves there.
We've seen the respect start very quickly after the fight starts. Now Hacker. And a really good round for him. He says one of his favorite things to do is talk to his devoted fan base. They've got to be very excited after that second round.
Absolutely. I mean, where is this? I mean, do we got Fuzi with a car? Like, I need to know because I don't know who's ahead right now.
He's fucking tired.
That was close for me too. You know what? I do. Deji, I still have him up maybe in both rounds, but Hacker, he's coming away. He's landing up. It almost seems like with the more damaging shots that cause him to have, you know, those weak legs, those little loose legs.
Absolutely, and we're looking at the replay here. Ooh.
There we go. See how he set that straight left up?
Let's look at it one more time. Yeah.
Make a slip. Ooh.
Okay.
Lead left hook. Beautiful. Let's go. And straight left. See, he switches stances. He throws that with such authority that he's coming forward and switching stances.
Yeah, Deji has a lot of power behind that straight left hand.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. Round number 3. Deji and Vinny Hacker. And
wait, what happened?
What happened right there?
He could have some wobbly legs. I don't really know what happened.
He took a knee.
Maybe he needed some more time to recover.
That was very weird.
That was. I'd love to see the replay. If anything ever touched him to cause him to go down.
All right, now wild exchanges between these two.
He seems fully recovered now. Stern warning from the ref.
You wondered if Vinny Hacker could take Deji into deep water. How would the cardio hold up?
As this round goes on, Hacker's pulling away.
Big shots.
Big shot.
From Vinny Hacker.
Wow.
Oh, and we get a standing 8.
No way. This is going the other way.
It is. Deji seems like he's almost quitting. Mid-fight.
Nobody expected this.
Nobody expected this. Mid-fight, he doesn't seem like he can take getting
Oh my
punched.
gosh.
And now Vinny Hacker, he can smell the finish. He gets it over.
Oh my God. The over. Finally, TikTok on the board. The winner here, Vinny Hacker. Unbelievable.
And for the first time tonight, we can say TikTok, you don't stop. What an upset. Kim, you'd have to consider this a major upset.
Major upset. I mean, I think back to the press conference. Fuzi opted to question up to Deji, and he said to him, he goes, "You got the easiest fight of the night." And Deji fired back saying, "Yeah, Fuzi's an easy fight." But no, just everybody thought Deji had this in the bag.
the first 3 rounds I had Deji up, and then all of a sudden I just realized that Deji, he didn't like, at first he was landing the majority of the strength punches, but Hacker
Like
came
and
through,
subscribe
he
if you're
landed
happy for the
ones
main
that
event.
really counted, obviously.
Well, those girls, 18 to 24, are going to lose their voice tonight. They're screaming for their hero, coming out with a knockout against Deji. That is insane.
Look at Foos, who clearly has had beef with Deji. All right, let's look at the beginning of the round, and this is where Deji went down to one knee. We knew something was wrong there.
Right, do we know what?
Well, clearly something, because then Hacker just teed off, and Paige, at this point, we got a standing 8, and Hacker was just letting it fly.
It was over at that point. You know, you could see it in his eyes. He wanted out. You could see that. He didn't want to be in the fight anymore, and Hacker gutted through those first 3 rounds of taking damage, and he had the will to win. And it's that fighter's will on the inside that you don't want to give up. You don't want to let anybody down, and he pulled through.
And let me...
And there is... TikTok is very excited. You saw Bryce Hall. You saw Taylor Holden. They're still to come. What a huge win, and plenty of respect from these two now.
Plenty of respect after that. And we talk about leveling up, or I talk about leveling up. I'm talking about, clout, numbers, more fans. Vinny Hacker just did this in front of a completely different audience, and I think he's got a lot of new fans tonight. That was amazing, and I hope we get to see Vinny Hacker in the ring again against someone, anyone.
So flip side of that, what does this do for Deji? And I'll get back to you in a second, but now it's time for the official announcement. Let's send it up to Foos.
Referee Chris Molina has stopped the bout at 44 seconds into round 3. Your winner with a knockout from Team TikTok, Vinny Hacker!
We had you down possibly 3 rounds, and you came back. Flawless performance with the finish. Talk about it. Talk about your performance.
I mean, honestly, we train for this type of thing, where we train to keep going all 5 rounds, and that's what we did. We trained every day to make sure that, we hit that aspect. So Deji's a great fighter, he just, anything can happen in the game of boxing, so it just happened to come out to be me.
And he was hitting you truly with some power shots. Have you been hit like that in training? Did you know that you were going to get hit that hard?
I sparred with people that were pretty much his size, even bigger, so I've taken hits like that for the past 3 months, 4 months, so I was prepared.
All right, you looked professional out there. Do we see you in another TikTok, YouTube match? Do you want to take an amateur boxing match, a celebrity boxing match? What is next for you?
I mean,
like and subscribe if you did not see that happening.
Because I'm kind of shaked out because this is my first, actual fight, so I couldn't really tell you right now.
I totally understand. I remember my first fight. I know the nerves. All right, TikTok's in full effect for you tonight. What do you have to say to your fans?
Thank you guys for so much for coming out, dude. I know I met a lot of you guys here. I appreciate all you guys for coming out here. You guys made this possible. Thank you so much.
You're a winner. Congratulations. And let's head back to Coach in the Corner.
Target demo, the 18 to 24 females are very much in attendance here tonight.
Absolutely. We heard them going wild right there when he thanked his fans. I mean, I can't get over this upset. I mean, that was just amazing.
But we've talked all night about being in shape, and even though it's only 5 rounds, 2-minute rounds, that was a perfect example, Keem, of one fighter being in really, really good shape, and Deji was not. And by the time you got into deep waters, he had nothing left.
That might be the cause of it. I think you're right. I think that's exactly what we saw right there.
I
can't wait to see Vinny back in the ring with someone else to see how good he really is.
Paige, we saw the TikTok locker room. How much does that win do for the fact that Taylor and Bryce still have to fight tonight?
No, I feel like it's absolutely huge. It gave them the momentum that they needed. They were down. YouTube was ahead. TikTok needed this tonight, right? It's going to give them the motivation to know that somebody from their locker room, their corner is coming back with the W and overcame adversity. That can give you a little bit of inspiration going into your fight.
Bryce Hall, Taylor Holder jumping up and down around all the, I mean, this was huge for TikTok.
And look at this. This is really what this night is all about. These young superstars in a different way than what this stadium normally holds in the NFL. And here, the Miami Heat with the basketball players, it's different, but it's still real. All right, let's send it back up to our superstar hosting this event. Of course, Charlamagne the God.
Yes, sir. TikTok finally got a point on the board. We here at the live zone, and I got my man Lil Baby up here. Lil Baby, what's happening?
What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up?
You know, we're looking forward to your performance later, but can you give us a prediction? Are you team TikTok or team YouTube?
I'm team both.
You team both? Absolutely. I was telling you, man, we need to do
Like
this
and
with the
subscribe
rappers.
if you guys are team both.
I'm willing to help set it up.
Yeah, I think you could pull it off, because what I'm noticing, everybody like to talk to each other on social media, but man, they can put some gloves on, get in the ring, and handle their business.
Yeah, I think that'll be a hell of a situation.
Absolutely. YouTube and TikTok is showing more heart than the rappers right now. But, Lil Baby, what we can expect from your performance tonight? Huh?
You said the YouTube was showing more heart
The YouTubers and TikTok are showing more heart than the rappers right now.
Now we just got to set it up. The rappers going to get in there.
You think they'll do it?
For sure.
All right, you heard it from Lil Baby. Now listen, our next performers are a dynamic hip-hop rap trio whose new album just dropped yesterday. Live on the Social Glove stage. Give it up for a group I think is the best rap group of the past decade. Offset, Takeoff, Quavo. Make some noise for the Migos, y'all.
So this what number one look like, right?
Papa was a Rolling Stone, but now I got Rolling Stones in the bezel. Mama at home all alone, hustling, trying to keep this shit together. Young niggas smoking on gas, I'm living too fast, my foot on the pedal. If I go back to the past, my niggas ain't know what we working Coachella. If a nigga ever try me or play me, I buy him an iced out shovel. Dig your own grave, nigga, you played yourself. I put some cash on your schedule. If a bitch ever try to fillet me, I just sit back and let her. Then she come up off the chores, whatever. My pockets came with extra. Let's go. I can see through the fuck shit. I think that my skills getting better. With a stick, I'm at peace, Mandela. I'm willing to feed whoever. How can I help you? Nobody judges with God.
Like and subscribe if this song is fire.
You're rich and black and we gon' be the job. I'm spending cash
all the way in the back.
Let's go. She got a fake ass, of course. But ain't nothing wrong with ain't nothing in yours. From the back, we enjoy. 100 rack on my table, my boys. When the clip poking out, we be showing. Anybody check out, we be known. In and out, we be going. On the 757 born. In my 80s and times it's the form. Better get you some bread when you fall. I spend my M's on the crew. Cover myself up and it is my shield. I spend a dime, go run you a drill. If you do the time, come home to a meal. Double my seal, tell another deal. Jesus pills, trying to give me chills. I make the bitch hit her knee, she kneel. I make the stick hit when I'm in the field. I make this bitch lick it up like ill. Spend 100 racks on my teeth, not a grill. Looking at your diamonds on your neck ain't real. Yeah, you a bitch, let the Drake gon' kill. Heard what I said. Spinning your block every day till you dead. Live on the edge, loading my meds. Open your legs. I fuck with my stick in the bed. We shooting, not fighting like crab. Bad bitches, they DM, they stealing my thread. They ain't never give us our cred. Cut it rose gold with the face ruby red. Put a hole in your head, not your legs. Put my hands on her head, she a pet. That's my G.O. nigga, that's the same. Fuck that P.O. woman just white guns in my limo, it look like it's out. Bino, I hit your bitch, she say out to the high note. I'm rich like Lino. Rich and your blessings, don't worry about the rival.
If we don't hit 10K in the next few minutes, I'm ending the stream. It's like not.
We been the nigga that steppin', we came in the door when they taking the flow, call it repo. My doggy gon' bite, no Chico get hit with the Draco and make him with repo. Ain't shopping Rodeo, you wanna see the 3 Migo, then turn on your Vivo. The red color mayo, counting up cheese like I ate a bag of some Cheetos. They must forgot we the Migos. Straight from the nump out the bando. I done been quiet for too long. I cut that Cuban, it's too strong. I heard he trapping, they tapping the stack. Tell that boy go get a new phone. I done better look out the new home. Avalanche with the blue stone. I'm the shit, can't find the fit. My niggas are the waves and rich. I retro the kid. Ain't giving no kiss, I'm giving them dick. You stand too long like you seen the ghost. So whip out your camera, take you a pic. So when you get home, get back on your phone. Zoom in on the flick and look at the. She asked me to pay for the ass to get lift. I told her I'm better, I'll give you a lift. put all my trust in a hoe with no benefit till I go jump off a cliff. I go 230 a cup of that purple, put ice in my drink just to keep it on chill. Fuck all that talk, you ain't been in the field. Open my bank account and give me chill. Take off.
Miami. You know it's time to get some straightening, right?
Straightening.
Coach of three. Number one album in the world. Number one album in the world. Hey, what we
Yeah. We gone. Stop. We good. Chill. We on. Scale. Let's go. Domingos. Let's go. Take.
Let's go.
Sit.
Let's roll.
Straightening.
Yeah.
Straightening. Yeah. Don't not get strained but straightening. Don't not get strained but straightening. Don't not get strained but straightening. You don't get shit straight, you straight. In this game, sit back, be patient. Niggas act like the game went vacant. Niggas act like some been taken. Ain't nothing but a little bit of straightening. Been kicking shit popping out daily. On the island, it's a movie I'm making. I'm counting the narrows of Robert De Niro. You telling them that you're amazing. Put that shit on. Get shit on. I bought 2 whips and I put my bitch on. She put this wrist on. She fat the wrist set it with Richard Mille Prone. Turn a pandemic into a pandemic. You know that's the shit that we on. Them niggas gon' pull up and act like this shit is together. Won't fuck with you home. I don't do the fake kicking. There go a rocket, it's taking it. It's a problem with few that we straightening it. I saw like the cap with a demon in it. Upgrade the band up with fees in it. I got some shit you seen with me. We running shit back, I just seen in it. We gonna get straightening. Yeah. Straightening. Yeah. Don't not get strained but straightening. Don't not get strained but straightening. Don't not get strained but straightening. You don't get shit straight, you don't straighten.
You don't get shit straight if you don't straighten it. I'm the type to sit back and watch patient. Do a trick with the stick, it's amazing. In the band though, chopping out bacon.